Good morning, LinkedIn friends, Value First Nation. Welcome to another episode of Value First AI Daily, your collaborative AI intelligence report. Happy Halloween, everybody. It's October 31st, 2025. George, Nico, how are we doing today?
Doing good. Doing good. Um, you know, another day, another day without an AI bubble. So I'm good.
Mm, mm. Yeah,
Yeah.
doing ghoulish. No, I'm just kidding. I'm not gonna do that. No, I'm doing good. It's Friday. I'm excited to be on this show, be on the next show. I actually don't have a lot of meetings today, so I get to dive into a little AI project that I started working on last night, due to a conversation with Jorge. But Chris, how are you doing?
I'm doing good. Enjoying, yeah, not only not a bubble, but how about the abundance of just,
Oh, yeah.
things like
Ooh, yeah.
StreamYard, being able to just add these in.
There's a book
Uh,
on my face. All right.
you know, oh man, and this is one of those like B2B lesson moments, but like for real though, this is the kind of stuff that's been on everybody's list. Like whether you're in product, customer experience, like these things come up and you're like, wouldn't it be cool if we could just take a minute to lighten it up a little bit, have some fun? And it's like, yeah, that would be cool. Too bad we got to focus on our KPIs and our metrics, and we don't have time for that stuff. And it's really hard to do. So maybe next year. Well, I guarantee like that is the AI is the only way that we're getting holiday specific
Mm,
skins. Because we saw it in Slack too, right? Like this trick or
yep.
treat thing like popped up. I didn't click on it, but as soon as I saw that, for me, that connects to the like just the extra bandwidth. Like there's
Yeah.
no way that kind of thing flies in the world of old.
It's interesting, Chris, because I think AI has led us into this world of wouldn't it be cool if? And because I've found myself over the last 2 years asking that question more and more, and then following up with, wait, let's see, is it possible? And then going down what some historically would have called rabbit holes that end up being like Alice in Wonderland freaking magical. So,
Yeah, I think Nico's got some magic
uh-oh.
to show us today too. Uh, he's been in Wonderland for a little bit. I know that. Might not be able to
Um,
get him back, honestly.
no,
I
no,
think he wants to come back. I mean, let's be real. Ooh,
that's not true. So yeah, I've been playing around and was messing with this new app that I found called Minimax, and we were talking about it yesterday, and we were showing it yesterday. Um, did run into an issue where it seems like it disconnected to from Superbase.
uh-oh.
Hold on a second.
So what we did, George, on Wednesday, towards the end of the show, like tried to one shot a CRM.
Oh,
Uh, and like with it, I think it was like half an hour after the show, Nico sent me the link.
yeah.
And let's just say I wasn't in the most work like of spots. I was able to pull it up on my phone for the first time and great contacts, great deals, easily get to everywhere I wanted to go. So I'm desperately hoping that it's able to show up here. It does speak to, uh, one shot works until it doesn't. Uh,
Mm,
and this last mile that we always talk about is
yeah.
real. I feel like it's getting shorter every single day.
Oh,
Um,
no doubt.
but
Thought this would
yeah,
like finish on its own before I was like, oh, I'll just create another one real quick. quick for a zoo, and we'll see what happens. Yeah, the only drawback to this is like how many people are using it. So it's slow. It's gotten slower over the last day. Just in the last 24 hours, it's gotten a lot slower, which means to me, more people are definitely using it. So the compute is getting strained.
And
But
and for specifics, we're not talking about CRM that you built, but Minimax, the actual like tool that you're using to do the thing. Yeah.
yeah, the tool itself has just gotten slower. It is a model that you can download and use locally. I haven't yet. I'll definitely be doing that over this weekend because it's just worthwhile. But yes, okay, finally, because it's such a small thing.
Isn't it interesting how quick we believe or want things to work anymore? Like I remember back in the day, I was excited with cuckoo choo, and I was like, I'm about to get on the internet. And now it's like 5 seconds. Come on, what's taking
Yes.
so long? I'm building a whole CRM. You're gonna take 5 seconds?
Ridiculous.
This is interesting. Like how anyway.
That is one of my favorite expectations to just be like, come on, what? Like, whenever anybody talks about like the speed differences between the different models and what the outputs are, it's like, yeah, Gemini, man, I don't know what's happening. Like, you guys can do deep research now and it goes away for like 10 minutes. It's crazy,
Yeah.
right? And then delivers this just ridiculously deep like research that would have cost hundreds of thousands of dollars and like many man hours of labor that has built entire companies and industries.
Yeah.
And it
Yeah.
did it in 10 minutes. But yeah, that's getting a little too long.
I think humans just need to remanufacture what they do with that time. Like, let me give you an example as Nico's working this out. I love for our new clients to create what is this robust discovery doc because I'm trying to battle against the old way of, hey, let's start with a discovery meeting where I ask you 20 to 30 questions and try to absorb your brain versus this document I can create, send it over and be like, hey, tell me if 90, 70, 100% of this is true and if there's any things that you would tweak. And it's literally like what I would need to train a hybrid team, a human and AI about the organization. But I love to get in agent mode and give it the prompt that we've created and get that to start to build. And then guess what? Go for a walk. Because I'm building something that would have taken a human a day, if not 2 days to build. So I go take a 30-minute walk. I come back. I have the document. I put it in a doc. I start to tweak it. I send it to the client in an amount of time to value that they can't even believe. And the amount of wows that I've gotten from handing this document and been like, okay, is there anything that you should tell me that isn't in here? Well, maybe this one thing, but other than that, no. That's a different lift for that human.
Yeah.
And for me, I get to go for a walk. I get to go have a coffee or go talk to your partner, your wife, your husband, whoever it is. Like, do something with that time. Anyway, I'll shut up.
No, it's powerful. And I got to imagine that's a great intro into what's possible with AI as well. And I think like what I'm hearing more, what I'm being exposed to more, and I've been suffering is not the right word, but we keep hearing about the situations where it feels like it creates more work. And like my buddy Ryan Ginsberg has created a pretty cool workflow audit app, right? And the output is amazing. But when you think about all the other challenges that we talk about, like how did the workflows even build up to that point, whether they're good or bad, does the person that can actually do something with that output have time to do something with that output? Are they willing to prioritize going through the output? And this is where it always brings us back to the place where if you don't have a specific person in charge of that function, it doesn't matter how good the output is, how comprehensive it is. Like nobody's taking that, and if they do, it's going to take them away from their day-to-day, usually like putting out the fires. So that like vast expanse of like from what George was talking about, like creating space all the way to almost creating like a FOMO of like, oh my God, all these great insights.
Yep.
Like I should be doing something with these. And it's like kind of looking around the corner that you've been wanting to look around that corner and you should be looking around that corner. But when you do, you're like, all right, I'm just gonna go back in this other direction. Like it's not hurting nobody.
Yeah. It's interesting because Chris, when I hear you say what you just said, like I'll give you a real world example. I have a client. They haven't historically been doing top or middle of the funnel content. They said, George, can you help us with that? And I said, absolutely. This is like a small fraction of what we're doing for them. And yesterday, I delivered a document to them that had 4 personas, 50 hybrid question based blog article titles, and 5 offers. And this document showed the 5 offers and what the 5 offers would consist of. It also showed for every article what the bottom of the blog offer should be out of those 5 offers. It showed a audit of their current blog and showed how the 50 hybrid articles would fill the gap from what they hadn't been talking about for like middle and top of the funnel content. They got this document and they're like, first of all, we love your nerd brain. This now officially is a Q1 initiative. We can't do this right now.
Right.
Output amazing. Strategy great. All the blocks they need to move forward. And the human realizes, hang on.
And actually carry
2
this out.
months, in 2 months, we can actually carry this out, but not right now, which I'm fine. I'm cool with that. But again, the amazing time to value based on knowing how to use AI to get there for a set of humans. Like these are things that if you're not doing, you should be doing.
What do you think? What? Why can't they do it right now?
So it's funny that you asked this question, Chris, because I am trying, by the way, Jorge from organization, he's trying to push me into talking about what I do more because he sees what I do behind the scenes, but I just haven't been real vocal about my like AI usage or like the things that I'm building because I'm like in my cave building and delivering and thinking of like, how do I use this for time to value for my clients?
Welcome to the party, Jorge. We've been trying to do that,
Like,
with
dude, you
George, for a while.
start talking about this stuff, show this stuff. It's amazing. And so why do I think that they can't or are not doing that right now? It's you have to take the time. That's one thing to allow your mind to go in ways and work in ways that you might not have historically done. Like iteration is a key. If you can't be a super champion of iterating on your idea over and over and over again until you get something that just feels right in your gut. But here's what he said the other day. Because I've been around for a while, aka I'm an old fart, okay? And I was focused for years on being a T-shaped marketer. I'm real deep in HubSpot, but I can do video editing, I can do podcast editing, I can do SEO, I can do, these other things. When I go to work in AI, I literally am layering the things on top of each other. So I'll be like, all right, I want you to be a content strategist who is focused on AEO, GEO, and SEO. I also want you to realize that there's a strategy out there called They Ask You Answer, where it's answering the questions. So we definitely want to answer the questions, but we also want to focus on a hybrid selection of like keywords that we're still trying to focus for or people care about. And let's go ahead and make sure that we pay attention to Google Eat. And as you're doing this, like remember your content strategy, what's broken down by main categories? What's the top 50 blog article titles that we should be writing about right now? Now, do you hear all of the things that I just threw at this? And so then I know that I'm like, okay, now what I want you to do, now that we have these 50 titles, let's go ahead and branch this conversation. We're going to work on this article first. I want you to be a content strategist who is highly proficient in writing. You're a professional writer and you've worked in this type of industry for the last 15 years. Now, what I want you to do is I want you to think about how you can create the most dope hook for this article to get people to read. Think about H2s along the way, and let's go ahead and write about a 1,200 to 1,800 word blog. But if you need it to be longer to create a better reader experience, feel free to do so. Let's go ahead and break it down into the sections that we need to write one at a time so you can do your best job. Do you understand the layers of understanding? By the way, we're doing it for this persona. Let's go ahead and optimize in the personalization that we could say or use. In this case, it's accountants who own accounting firms. Let go. So the pieces of the puzzle and the understanding of the historical good outputs to the journey that you had to go through to get there. So in my mind, I'm like, okay, what did we used to do in 3 months that I can do in 6 minutes?
Yeah. And like that's where I think like George is in the loop here, but it's not at the end, right? And the more we focus on, well, a human's going to need to review it. Well, a human's going to need to be right there. We just build and build and build. And I guarantee that's part of the we can't do this until Q1 is that we've got a review. That's part of it, but also this just traditional mindset of quarterly campaigns, and we can't possibly publish more than one thing at a time because we got to be able to post it as we publish it and get people to it. Like meanwhile, there's sales teams, there's customers looking for this information right now, and you're holding back on, because it's supposed to go this way.
Yeah,
Right.
see, you're killing me right now because I'm to the point where I believe almost every old school best practice needs to be thrown out the damn window.
Oh yeah.
Because here's the thing, like when I look at content and when I look at what we're creating and the way that we're using AI and the fact that our main goal is time to first value, I'll create it for social, I'll create it for SEO, I'll create it for AEO, I'll create it as a sales document, I'll create it for client support, there's like 17 different reasons why I want to be able to create content immediately and not give two squats about the publishing process or the sharing process, because I'm at the ability where if I get an idea or if somebody has a pain point, I can create a thing and iterate it to the point where I feel like it's my version of how I would help people with it. And I can put it anywhere at any time. And so like old time frames, old timelines, old best practices, like all of that crap is going to end up going out the door. Yet you're going to still have people who are trying to follow that rhythm. And you're like, man, if I could only give you one superpower over the next year to 5 years, I would just wave a magic wand and I would make your ass nimble.
Yes.
Like you gotta be nimble right now.
Like forget about everything you've learned
Sort of.
when it comes to scheduling and
Yeah.
like time frame. And we know how bad it is because it's I've given Claude so many damn instructions to never give me 30, 60, 90 day like project plans and all that stuff. And he can't help himself, right? Like it's so ingrained in how we need to process things. And it's just, and I'm still hearing it from HubSpot. like into we do these unboxing shows, right? And even though everybody like in day by day, you can't help but feel the speed of
Yeah.
everything. Like
Yeah.
you've got product managers that are shipping stuff every day.
Yeah.
And then when I suggest like, hey, we do the shows, like you're doing stuff every day, you want to talk about it every day, you're already having customer conversations every day. So I'd love to have you on a show. What
Yeah.
happens sometimes is that they're like, oh, that's marketing. Okay.
Mm.
When in my future calendar do I have time for that? Yeah, I think Q2 2026 would be good, Chris. I think I'll have time. Like, and instead of being like, you're crazy, it's clear they're not understanding like what's being asked for. There's some disconnect, right? It's like, no, this is not some part of big campaign plan. It's like we need to give knowledge to people. That knowledge exists right now. We need to give it to them right now.
Yeah.
And not because it's going to create leads or it's going to be a part of spring spotlight or whatever.
That was very specific.
Right. Because I'm waiting. That's the AI first part that I'm waiting to see from HubSpot is like when they have big, we're already seeing it. It's just they're trying to hang on to the marketing thing, I think. But like when a product's ready to ship, they ship it.
Yeah.
Right. And no matter how big I mean, they still did it at inbound, right? But
Strong.
even that was more of a philosophy. Most of that stuff outside of Breeze Studio had already been, dribbled out.
Yeah.
But that's what's interesting because that's what we're seeing from the AI, like the frontier labs, right?
Yeah.
Like when they've got stuff ready to go, they go. It doesn't matter Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, doesn't matter what time of day. Like they're streaming, they're going live. And meanwhile, and that's what gives us the ability to watch Nico. And we talk about bandwidth, right?
Yeah.
While we're creating content, Nico is troubleshooting.
Well, did you
And
see that he posted? We were talking about publishing, and all of a sudden I look over and he's like, "Let me go ahead and post this on LinkedIn while these guys are talking about publishing." Like, I'm like, okay, that boss move right there. But yeah, he's been jamming. Like I've seen the dashboard pop up a couple times. He's iterating, making it what he wants it to be. It's amazing.
Yep. And it all started with like the simplest prompt of like the menu bar is so small at this point. Started with the simplest prompt of like, hey, I want to build a CRM that's super easy and minimalist. That's it. And then it was like, oh, what about these 8 questions? Super simple, easy answers. I made nearly no effort, right? And then that's what you end up with 0 effort. That's what you end up with.
Well, and zero effort. Talk us through like how many dollars? Like how many
Zero.
dollars spent to get to see? There you go.
This is what's known as zero cost development. We told you this was coming months ago, probably last year. I think somewhere in like mid last year. We were just like, wow, this is hurtling. Like last year, we were just like, we are racing towards zero cost development. And now it's here.
Yeah. And Nico, you spent like probably at least 2-3 hours like looking through Adobe stock for those icons in the menu bar for just the right iconography, correct? Right?
Oh, no, it does all that.
I'm waxing stupid, ladies and gentlemen. No, he didn't. But I'm thinking about historically, right? There was a creative team that went into like the iconography base and spent half a day. Here are the perfect 5. Do you know how much money you just spent looking for iconography?
Oh man. Yeah. And another gap, like mobile versus desktop. That's where Nico did this activity on desktop. And then the first time I looked at it was on mobile. Perfect.
Yeah.
Looks just as good.
Like perfect UI. Right? Most businesses still do not have perfect UI when it comes to mobile.
Oh my God. It's
right. And what's going to be interesting, and like, I think I'm going to want to get us to the point where we're prompting at the end of like every show, just so we can see. Because what I'm interested in is like, I don't want to take it for granted or assume it can do things it can't, because a lot of the stories we hear is like, oh yeah, it can one shot this or that, like a video game, and we know that it does better the less expectations and instructions you give it in those scenarios, right? So can I give it, first one we'll do this weekend, I think, like, can I go work with Claude and say, help me build, I want to build a CRM that is like has value first built in, like value path, like everything in it. I want that prompt, and I want to come over here.
I don't want to, I hate to cut you off real quick, but I don't know if you guys can see closely enough what's going on in here. The web designer has created 3 excellent design options for zoo management application. That means that there are other mini-max models underneath. I shouldn't say under, sorry, that's misspeaking. There are other agents underneath, coding agents, graphic design agents, clearly web design agents. And so anytime the coding agent needs to do something in particular, they just ask that agent. It didn't ask me anything about the design. It did initially, but then it went and made all these decisions for itself, essentially, and was like, yeah, okay, we should look at this. Maybe we're going to do this. And it presented it to me initially as if like I was going to make those decisions. And then it was like, nah, my web, the web guy I've got, they're going to make the decisions, right? So now it's like, okay, do you want to do this design? All of that whole thing got boiled down into A, B, or C. Clean, rich, immersive, or minimalist. So we're going to go with B.
So we're gonna keep showing stuff like this more and more. I think these are just such powerful examples. We're at time already for today's episode. Pretty cool, George. Yeah.
Next week.
Oh, it's without a doubt. By the way, I'm on agent.minimax.io right now. I can't wait until I have some time this weekend to actually give it an idea and see how far I can take it. Because, yeah, this and very interesting, gentlemen. Very interesting.
Real quick, George, reaction between you saw Claude Code last week, now you see Minimax this week.
Minimax seems way easier. Also, it feels to me very native of what I'm used to in ChatGPT as far as the way that it talks and says, we're now doing this, we're now thinking about that, which I've actually started to fall in love with the understanding of what it's doing and being able to read that as we go. It's very powerful.
Indeed.
Yeah, very powerful.
And with that, stay tuned. Next week we'll be back on Monday. I'm probably doing something over the weekend too. And we'll see you next time, folks. But have a great Halloween.
Hey guys.